wiser with wine. Wiser with wine. Keeping it real, one pour at a time. This is wiser with wine.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, here we are, number 2. So we are going to be talking about something that I think, I shouldn't say that, most people have dealt with, unless you're born hairless. We're going to talk about hair. I don't. Can you be born hairless?
I think so.
No, is there
There
a
is a
condition?
condition.
Yeah, there's a hairless.
Sure.
Be
hairless
very
cat.
rare.
There's a hairless cat.
Is it?
Oh, no, alopecia.
alopecia.
Hang on.
No, that's
Alopecia's
not
when-
it.
okay, I haven't introduced yet. However, in saying that, we're just going to be talking about waxing, shaving, IPL, or I do not care. What do you do? And it's just a general conversation about the maintenance of
Both men and women.
Evolution of hair.
The revolution of hair.
Revolution,
the
evolution.
of hair. How significant it is in our lives. What do we do to maintain it? And I come from a generation which is a little bit older than
Slightly.
oh, just slightly.
You're not that
Lucy,
much older.
but I'm way behind in the technology, and so I just want to talk about that and think where do we stand with this? What's our opinions, etc., etc. So, if I'm going to ask Lucy and Alex straight out, what's your most preferable way of maintaining your hair? What do you do? Recent hairstyle changes, eyebrows. Just the floor's yours because I'm interested.
Well, when we found out we were starting a podcast, what the quickest thing we can do other than lose 5 kilos is fix our hair.
Yes.
So I was like, well, the only thing I can fix is my eyebrows because I've never quite got them right my whole life. We can go into that in a bit.
Can you put your glasses down for a sec? There we go. Sexy.
They're nice.
Mm.
They're nice.
No. Well, it was one of those things that when, given my ethnic heritage of being half Spanish, half Italian, if you let them go, I'd just have one. So always
No.
as a kid had very big bushy
Sorry, come
eyebrows.
here, come
Yeah.
here. You haven't got
If
me
I
yet.
didn't pluck in the middle, I'd have one. Still to this day.
Frida.
Yep, Frida Kahlo.
Yes.
So
Frida was hot though.
my whole life, like ever since I was a kid, you start plucking and then you like over pluck and then it's just the whole life of getting back to trying to get back to some normal shape. So my biggest advice to young kids out there is do not pluck your own eyebrows until you go to an eyebrow specialist, get them done once, and then just do their own maintenance. Don't try and craft something from nothing to start with. So I went and got my eyebrows. I wanted to get them like me being very logical, mathematical, systematic, that kind of thing. I wanted someone to look at them properly and analyze my eyebrows. So I went to Your Eyes Only Brow Studio in Subiaco because I was like, I have to go to the place that has the most positive reviews on Google.
So you
And
clearly
obviously
researched.
oh my God, I researched so many places. I even had to go north of the river. So I went to Subiaco. Extremely happy there. They did like a full analysis of my eyebrows and like the little drawings and everything. And I'll put the picture up on Instagram so people can laugh at me. But I was very impressed. So I got to see mathematically where they're supposed to start, finish, how big they are, how small they're supposed to be, whatever. So I got them done there. And then now I've just got like a little bit of homework to let certain areas grow back and things like that. But yeah.
Can they grow
Super-
back though?
Yeah. All mine could give 4 weeks. It'd be like a gorilla, just eyebrows.
But that is kind of back in, isn't it? Gorilla look.
Well, the bigger eyebrow look is certainly
Isn't
back
it the
in.
more hair you've got, the better?
Well, now you get gel to
Well, all I know is this morning I woke up quite early and I went to I do my eyebrows first. That's what I do because it annoys me the most.
You
That's
do them really good.
anything that annoys me or anything in my life that annoys me, I do first so I get it over and done with. So I looked in my suitcase, or my makeup bag to have a look what's in there. And look, I've got an eyebrow pencil. I've got an eyebrow thickener. I've got staying gel. I've got an eyebrow lifter, all these things. And I've got probably 6 items which are devoted to my eyebrows to maintain them. And I've had that for about 10 years.
How long does this
I
take?
never
It
had
takes
anything.
less than a minute. Less than a minute. I do it all really quickly. It's all
You
automatic.
sound like you're going to surgery.
But it's not. I've got all these things for my eyebrows, which leads me to ask you the eyebrow revolution because we, I think, are living in an age where there's beauty brow bars. Like, this wasn't always the case.
No. They used to be the forgotten part of your face, maybe. There was a lot of
Well,
stuff on lips.
I don't know if they're forgotten, but there was something.
There's now products for your eyebrows.
Yes,
like
it's
so many
amazing.
products.
Yeah,
Like,
brow
you go to
bar.
the makeup section and there's a whole
Well, as you
eyebrow
can tell, I don't
section.
do anything, so there you go.
Yeah.
I
Well,
try.
I don't, and I'm
But-
starting
No,
to.
do you know
I'm
what it
trying to
is?
learn.
I love her eyebrows, but I have friends, and I'm not going to say names, but you know what freaks me out is because I've seen them and I know what their eyebrows look. When I see them,
Without
it's
makeup or
like they're
with-
going to kill me. They're like got that angry,
Oh, yeah.
angry birds look. And it doesn't look natural. And when you go to them, oh, they
Aggro
look
from
great. And they go,
Parks
I just got
Connection.
these tattooed. You're like, oh my God, yay. Like, you look cute. And if you know what the definition of cute, it ain't gorgeous.
The tattooing scares me. Anything
Mm.
permanent scares
Although
me.
then I have friends that have had tattoos and they look really great. But
Mm.
majority of people go too dark.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this so overfactured. You know, it's not natural.
Mm.
But then are we deviating from natural?
But so yours natural. You don't do
I
anything.
don't do shit.
Oh.
But as I'm getting older, I'm not going to show you where, but you can tell, I'm actually losing hair. But then I can't be bothered. That's just me. I
Well,
can't be bothered.
They are a lovely shape considering they're natural.
But I've never touched them. Even when we went through that phase of
Yeah.
thin,
well,
thin,
yep.
refused to.
Even
when
back
I
in
get it-
your ballroom dancing
No,
days?
never did. No.
Mm.
As you can tell, I don't do my own makeup and I still can't do makeup. Even when I dance, it was like, you could tell when I'd done it, they were like, couldn't get anyone. I'm like, no.
But Lucy, what did you do for the show? What did you change? I think we both did the same thing.
My
You
son
talking
didn't
about
recognise
my
you.
vagine?
No.
Oh,
no,
yes.
No.
Hair.
I didn't even
I was
mention
just
vagine.
like, sorry.
No.
I was
did one
having,
big change.
I know, you know what it was? I was having a midlife crisis
Mm,
because I'm hitting 40s
mm-hmm.
and I'm grey
Yes.
and I'm vain.
You call it antique blonde.
Well, I'm trying to find the right blonde.
Yeah,
You
mm.
found the blonde. It took
Mm.
you a while.
6
And I'm
months.
still finding the blonde.
Mm.
So I'm looking like an orange at the moment
So you decided
with
to-
my albino face.
I think it brings out the complexion
Uh,
really nice.
Yeah, but then I'm still looking like super white. What does Alan
No.
call me? Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Well, that's just complexion. What do you expect to be? Like tan.
Not
Like,
really. Have you seen me on the beach? There's a particular beach that I won't. Okay, when we're down at South Beach,
Mm.
I blend in with the sand. And I will say this to you: when there's a certain day, and the sun is a certain, at a particular point where the sun hits the sand. And I will say this: I was really pissed off when he did say it. Alan was coming in the opposite direction towards me, and he was laughing his ass off. And then he was calling me, "Hey, sunlight, sunlight!" And I was thinking, it sounds like Alan's voice, but I don't know where it's coming from because the sun was in my eye and I couldn't see. And he goes, "I'm not lying, but it looked like a blur of light was coming towards me." He goes, "I didn't know where the sun started and the sand finished," because he goes, "You were just a blur of light." And then I looked at myself and I went, "Wow, white."
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Can you
Mm.
see me?
I know.
White,
Yeah, white bread.
full white bread.
White bread.
I think
bread.
it's lovely skin.
Thank you.
I think it, and yeah.
I won't look like a tire later on. Do you know what I mean?
Anyway, I love the new hairstyle. I love the new hair color. I think you can go a little bit more on the what's that? Is it
Platinum.
Hang on,
platinum?
what is everyone
White?
saying?
Like the white
It's a
color?
journey. I'm going on a journey.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a journey.
Journey
my
of
hair
blonde.
was my
I
hair
like
was 6
that.
months.
But so I did that. That was just a new look.
Mm.
it looks great.
Whether you like it or not, I don't really
I
give a
know.
shit.
I think it's. I think.
Do you know what it is with me again when I zone out? I forget what hair color it is. I actually forget I've got hair because I've had some drastic hair colors, as you have seen me through dancing. I've been every shade of color.
Yeah.
I've been every fake hair, every whatever it is, and I just forget that I've got that. Especially when I once went peroxide blonde, like it was like Annie Lennox kind of like
Mm.
white, and I wasn't paying attention, which I never do in the salon because I just go, I'm there to relax. So I'm like on a Kindle or I'm just zoning out. I'm looking at the mirror, but I'm not looking. And then this one particular time, I don't know why she thought this would be a good look, did a bowl haircut. And I walked out and I'm always like this. Like I'm quite upfront, like I'll say things. But when it comes to hair, I go, "Oh, it's really great." And I walked out and I was like,
Cried.
"Oh,
no.
Oh, we've all had those.
and cried. And then you know what I thought? They were like, "Go fix it." You know what? It'll just grow. I don't care.
I've had
But
terrible
that's me.
haircuts. I think everyone has.
I've had days I was crying in the chair,
Mm.
and I've been every color of the rainbow. But
But do
I'm doing Paula Yates, Deborah Harry now. That's just what I'm
But
doing.
I actually quite like it.
Thanks.
But can I ask you this though? Do you confront the person? See, I say when I've had those disasters, I just come out going, "This looks great." Then I go, "Oh my God."
No, I
Nah,
take the hair dryer and start blow drying myself. Actually,
Yeah.
that's what I do now because they'll say, "Are you happy?" I say, "Well, just give me the hair dryer and I'll do it myself."
Yes.
Because obviously you don't know what what I like my hair to look like,
Which is
So
normal.
I
I
still
think
pay,
everyone's like that.
I still pay for the services, of course, but I'm I'm hair drying my own hair because I'm a control freak. So
I leave with wet hair.
Yeah.
I just say I just want to leave with wet hair.
see. So
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not sure if this. How do I say this? Enchilante of hairdressers at the moment who are cutting and blow waving hair are doing a great job as what they used to do, because I felt like that wasn't the case years ago, or maybe I was less angry years ago, I'm not sure, but I don't feel like when I'm getting a blow dry at the hairdressers they're styling it correctly, or maybe I've got less hair, I don't know.
Can I just say this? Being like having just come back from Europe, can I just tell you the difference that blew me away? So last year, when I was in a small little town, like a village, went to get my hair done. You know where I was? I went, so this was before I went blonde. It was 45 minutes. That was max. I got a colour, a cut, and it was 36 euros.
Ooh.
36. You
Done
went
in 45 minutes.
45 minutes, 36 euros. So whatever's that, double and a bit back then, which is nothing. Here, it's like 2.5, and I got short hair. 2.5 hours, close to nearly $300. And I've hardly got hair. So I can imagine what your hair will be like. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird.
And it's the whole day. Who's got time? I have to look at when my son's at daycare in order to go to the hairdressers.
Yeah.
It's all day, and it takes all the energy out of you. Like, I don't mind sitting around. Well, actually, I do. I like doing something all the time. So if I have to sit in a hairdresser chair for 3 hours and pay for that, I'm thinking, but that's just the way it is. That must.
And you do it.
This is the culture here. But
Yeah.
in Europe, totally different. In and out. It's
So
done.
I get 1.5 haircuts a year.
But you can get away with it. We would look really weird. Like, what the hell?
I think it's like once every 8 or 9 months I get my hair cut. This is why I just have this long hair, just because I just can't. I don't have
See,
the
I
time.
can't do long hair. You know what I am? I'm
to-
like Krusty the Clown. Like, it's like, it goes like this. And then
Don't you
it's
get-
just.
Don't you get keratin? Isn't that what people do to make their hair straight? So if you had long hair, I love this hair. I don't want you to change anything.
No,
though, but
I've
I
never
understand
go
there's-
long. I think I cut my hair when I was 14 because I got told to because I was
Well, from
dancing.
dancing, it
Yeah, I
just
got
makes
told to
sense.
go. You're going short. I didn't get asked. Who's like, you're going short. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I've never been. I think I've down to the shoulders. I think I've been in the. What's that? Now I'm 43. How many years is that? I've gone dumb. Working at the bank with computers makes you dumb. Just a side note, it does, because I can't count.
20 years.
I'm like, is it more than 20? Whatever it is,
13,
okay?
23.
Can't we just say I did it at 20 and then so 23 years? Might be more than that, okay? I've gone dumb, just a side note. So what was I saying? Because I've now it's completely.
I don't cut my hair.
So there you go.
Long hair.
So
Then
yeah,
it's
I
long
just,
hair.
yeah,
I am
can't
due
do
for a
that.
haircut soon, so if in a few weeks you see this hair different, that's why.
We have to cut our hair
I have
because
to
it's
wait till
short.
my husband comes back so I can actually go to the hairdresser.
But you pull it off really good.
Thanks, but I've always had short hair. I was a hairdressing model there for a little while.
Oh.
Yes, when I was 12, 13 and 14.
I got asked once to be a hairdressing model, and
And I
I
just
was
went,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
well.
no.
I used to do it for my cousin, and that was a shit show and a half.
But I do think everything that I've done to my hair, from the different colours of the rainbow, the hair extensions,
Oh.
the different
God.
hairstyles, I had beautiful thick hair,
Mm.
like, most women in my family. Now it's just like straw, and I know that this is the end. This I'm going to have to. If
Don't you think that because we're getting older, it
I don't know.
changes?
I'm not going to say that. It's because of what I've done to my hair. It's not because I'm getting older. It's got nothing to do with it.
Oh, you're hotter.
Thank you. So basically, cutting it but that time, it's a lot of time in the week. And I
Yeah.
know that sounds like a first world problem, but when you've got a busy life with, kids and husbands, it's just a lot of time. I'd rather just, should do drive-through hairdressers, something like that.
But you know what? No, and you've got this. Actually, we've got the same thing in common. Our husbands are bald, so I don't know what your husbands are like, but my husband would like me not to have hair.
Oh, well, the mess.
Can
on
I
the
just tell you
bathroom
that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
because now I've always been shorter, and also with the whole body hairy shit, and because my husband love you to bits, but he's a gorilla, which his hair goes from the back. We know this, back from the heel, and it finishes to the front toe. Every time I have a shower, right, and I've never really shed hair. I've never had a lot of hair, but you know what shits me is getting out of the shower. I don't know what the hell he does, but there's hair everywhere, and it ain't me. Let me just tell you that it ain't me. And then I get this. What's with all the hair you're shedding? I'm like, buddy, I'm not shedding because I don't have hair. I am a
Hairless
sphinx.
from here down.
Thank you. And if it is, it's all blonde, baby. Just saying. It's like I'm vacuuming like 7 or 8 times a day.
Oh.
And I think bald-headed men, or the ones that choose to or have no hair, they are weird. Well, my husband's weird because he doesn't want any hair. But yeah, he's the one that sheds the most.
That's so true.
My husband cleans up after himself in the shower because he
My
was very-
husband air towels. He uses a towel, but I don't know what the towel does. Because when I come in there, it's like a slip and slide. It's like I've fallen before. I was wearing my Ugg boots. This was a couple of weeks ago. I fully like landed on my back and I went and I screamed. I go, where the fuck are the towels? What are you doing with the towels? And he was like, what? But he had it around him, but he was still wet. He
I
air.
love that.
Can you hear?
Just so the listeners are cottoning on, Lucy's husband's my brother, and I'm just going to ask her something. Does he still take long showers?
Yes.
Because when he was younger, he'd be
No,
in the
he's-
shower forever.
Your nephew does that now. He
Oh,
goes for about
okay.
45 minutes. And if I forget he's in there thinking, and this is one of my pet peeves. I'm screaming because men are now getting into the whole hair thing.
Yeah, we'll talk
So
about
my
that.
son is a teenager and he will be in the shower 45 minutes. So we'll be talking and I'll be yelling out, dinner's ready, no answer. And then I'm thinking, where the hell is he? He's in the shower and then Alan will go to me, have you checked on the shower? There he is. I'm like, how long have you been in there for? And he's got the iPad going and then he's doing I don't know.
know.
And I'm surprised we've still got hot water. So then he comes out and he's got this whole hair routine. So the mornings are the worst
Yeah.
too. His whole hair routine. He's got beautiful hair. He's a good looking kid. But it's like he does this constant thing. And I don't know if I ever did it, but he's always, every mirror that is. So in the windows, he's always doing this.
Checking. But that's because, could it be a soccer influence?
No, and let me get this.
Okay.
I think it's just constant.
Mm.
Even going to bed. So the other night, I will say this. He was in pajamas. We do these rituals with my other son. We're all got into bed, doing cuddles, saying goodnight, and he literally did this. He got out of bed, went to the mirror, went,
Oh, don't.
no, wait. And I'm looking at him and we're having a conversation. I was thinking, what is he doing? And then I go, dude, you're going to bed. And he goes, yeah, just checking the hair, mum, and walked out.
See, you never know what's going to happen. in
And
the
then
middle
I
of the
went to
night.
say goodnight to everyone just to tuck them all into bed. And he literally did this. The mirror is there and he's gone like this.
Oh, he's
And then
getting
rolled
cute.
over.
He's
and I
getting ready
thought,
for girls.
what the hell?
He's getting
so
ready for
cute.
girls.
I love
I think
that.
He has more products than I. And then you know what shits me? I have 2 boys. Never thought this would happen. He actually goes into my bathroom and steals my crap.
All right, so
So I never have
maybe we
products.
should talk about the age of barbershops and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's all going on. I've never seen so many barbershop. Well, shouldn't say that. Maybe there was barbershops in the 1970s, but I wasn't, old enough to see them. But I do think the rise of the barbershops and metrosexuals and men taking care of themselves has happened at the same time as the eyebrows for women, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Which
feel-
I applaud.
I agree.
I
think
think-
time.
I
It's
love
not
it when
all
I had a
us.
friend that I used to work with who had a beard and it was like quite messy. And then I had another friend who would always go to a barber shop and get trimmed and whatever.
Oiled.
And then I
do
think
that.
it influenced him to go get a proper thing. And then, like, when they have a proper beard and they shape it properly to your face and then they put
Yeah.
product in it, I'm not kidding. He looked like so much more
It's
handsome
got structure.
after getting it like taken care of a little bit than not. So I think it's fantastic.
because
I think.
there's beard conditioners
Mm.
and it's a whole new art.
And shape, yeah, like an
Yeah.
art, like the angles and the shape that they do. I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic.
I think they should do because it's always been on us and I think they need to take some control back. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially with the beard. Because it can be quite coarse.
Oh yes,
Do you
know
get what I mean?
now.
Yes, I know
Yes,
what you mean,
I
yes,
was
yeah.
like, what's
It needs to be, no, I'm just saying they need to take care of it.
So
Okay.
thinking about taking care of things, eyebrows.
No, back on the barber shop, I did just want to mention.
I know
that
we
it-
deviated from there, but
No, I just want to one more barber shop thing.
Yes.
Like it's fun for the men to go together. Even in Bali, Christo went with the 2 boys for like 3
Oh.
hours to the barber shop and they drank beers. They came back so drunk. So drunk.
can I ask you, what the hell did he get done? He's got no hair.
Yeah, he just had like
His
a little
bum
bit of like,
fluff.
no, he just had like, like
Oh,
they
okay. Do
trim
they do
the
that?
shave, like,
All that stuff.
and even when I take my son to the barber now, he loves going to the barber because he puts like they puts the thing on him like this,
It's a
and
ritual.
he shaves him, and then at
It's all
the end he like
exaggerated.
spritzes him with this mist, and Raphael goes like this.
I-
It's
see,
like-
that is
and he's
wonderful.
3, and it's so cute, and he loves that he's like pampered. So when we like at night after a bath and stuff, he asks me to dry his hair, and he stands in the mirror and he looks at his hair,
That's so
and he's
cute.
like, "I like it, Mum," and I was like, "Oh, good, that's nice."
He's actually becoming aware.
What's aware?
He's becoming aware of like
Aware,
hair
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, aware.
I was like, is this some new young
No.
person acronym that
No,
I?
I'm just saying because when I came to the house and I changed his, he could not get
Oh,
over.
yeah.
He kept going to me, Auntie. He goes like, Auntie, change hair, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like blonde. And I was
Blonde.
trying to explain to him, I'm saying I've coloured my hair. I painted my hair, and he would not let it go.
Yeah.
He was like, "But it's black. Where's did it
Mm.
go?"
And I was like, I painted. I got bored, and I just painted it yellow. He's like, oh, lalo hair.
Same color as Bingo, his dog. Yeah.
But Rocco was the funniest. He kept doing this. He kept doing like a triangle shape and then closing his eye so he couldn't. So just be my face and no hair.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then he kept doing this, like he'd close whatever side he was closest to me, he'd do that. Just close that eye so he couldn't see me. So he'd see me with the outer eye.
Yeah.
It took about 3 days.
So I think we're going to talk about the eyebrow revolution.
Oh yes.
But before, should we just talk about the lovely flowers to your left, Alex?
Oh, yes.
We have been
From
given
Lime Flowers,
lime flowers in East Fremantle.
soon to be O'Connor.
Soon to be O'Connor. Change of location. Do highly recommend go having a look. They believe in native bouquets and everything in there she does with great precision and service excellence. So highly recommend birthdays, weddings.
Yeah, she doesn't know it yet, but she'll be doing my wedding.
She knows now.
Oh, yes,
So basically,
Be ready.
Moving to O'Connor at 352 South Street. We'll put that in our Instas so we know the new location starting next week. Now, the eyebrow revolution, I have to say, for me, I said to you that I have all these eyebrow things in my makeup. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Lucy will vouch for that.
Very
and I'm
true.
going, all these things I
Very
have to do
true.
on my face. I do them very quickly. But I do remember growing up, and I was born in the late 70s. And in the 1960s, women shaving off their eyebrows and then penciling it back. And I did have aunties in my family, like blood relations, who actually shaved their eyebrows off, and how they maintained that shape was through shaving, which to me is totally wrong because I wouldn't put a razor near my face because everything would come back double. But obviously nobody told these people that because they just kept shaving. And then we've got that, and then we went to Brooke Shields era where it's all these bushy. Now I've gone to the tattoo era, so it's the evolution of eyebrows is. Yeah, I
Hang on, but you have had, didn't you do, where did you do henna?
No, I have never done henna.
Wasn't it eyebrows?
No, it doesn't work on me.
But you have attempted though.
Yes, but it doesn't work. I've attempted a lot of things on myself.
That's what I'm saying. She's done henna and it actually didn't do anything.
Yes. No, I did because it doesn't work. It doesn't work on me.
But you've tried quite a few different things.
Yes, that's just correct. Yes, a few work stuff. A little bit of maybe we should. I've done a few things, but I don't do anything now. That was my midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So I'm on the nicer side of 45, getting to 50 now. So I don't actually feel like doing anything else. It's out of my system.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. I did it for a few years.
I think that's how I've shifted my thoughts as well. Like, not that I never really did anything like in terms of makeup and face and all of that. Kind of went for a natural look because it was like quick. But even now, since having kids, I'm definitely emphasis on speed.
Yes.
Like,
You
it's
do get
definitely
quicker at things, yeah.
changed. Like,
Efficiency.
yeah, it's more about efficient, and then you only have a certain amount of things to do. So time to do things. So like main key points. That's why I'm wearing glasses. so I
This is
can
my
hide
question to
face.
you though. Would you wish you had done stuff earlier than later? Especially with eyes, being aware. Because this generation now is so aware of everything and doing everything. Because I only say this because I remember my cousin's daughter had a monobrow and she would have been about 3. And as a joke, I said, if that was me, I'd be waxing that thing off so it doesn't get worse later. And she actually did wax her. So it was 2 instead of 1.
So this is an interesting topic, is when to start the kids.
Yep, this is very
And
interesting.
I don't think it's a bad thing,
'Cause
especially when it comes to
'Cause
monobrows.
you got to balance that. Like, you don't want them to be too self-conscious, but you also don't want them to hit the thing that they're going to start getting bullied. And then do it themselves without any parental supervision, and you end up.
So my story
Which
is
what I did pretty much.
my story, and my family will vouch for this. We used to live in a caravan park growing up in Karratha. I mean, I've lived in a lot of places in my life. So I found my dad's razor.
Mm.
And so when you live in a caravan park, you got to go to a public toilets to have a shower, right? And I thought, oh, my mum won't know.
Oh my
I'll just
God.
take, I was 8.
Yeah.
I'll take the razor with me and I'll shave myself. So I've never been really good at keeping a secret. My mouth is way
Really?
too big. Yeah. But then I came back to the caravan and this is me, oh, my legs are so nice and shiny. And my mother's ears pricked up like dingoes. She goes, what have you done? I said, nothing. What have you done? She goes, you've shaved your legs. And then I got a belting. So I've never really understood. She didn't let me shave my legs until I was 12 or 13. So obviously my mum found that to be quite early. But then I've see kids today, some are getting IPL'd, I reckon,
Which is smart.
really, really early as well. But we didn't have those options to us. We had to shave. So I got in a lot of trouble for that. But
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed until I was, I think, 12 or 13 to have it done again.
I think I started shaving my legs when I was like in maybe 11, 12, 13. 11,
Yes.
12. And I think because I asked mum because I would play netball, so I'd have to wear a short netball skirt, and I think that was really self-conscious.
Yes.
And obviously being Italian, Spanish, I had like more of a darker hair,
Mhm.
whereas all the other girls in my school had like beautiful like blonde,
Yeah.
like, and it actually
It's
looked
hidden.
nice because they had like tan skin and like blonde hair like on their arms and things, and it was just like really nice. I had really dark hair. But but that's the thing is though, that my hair goes blonde in the sun. So instead I always would tell myself, if once I had a nice summer and my hair got lightened, that I just had to get through the winter with the hair, and then it was like become nice and blonde again. So I didn't want to like shave and stuff, because then, as you said, like it just comes back like
comes
10
back.
times worse.
Yeah.
And plus it's a maintenance thing.
Oh.
Once you do it, you've always got to like maintain it. So I would try and just convince myself of ways like keep it natural, just get through the rough patch, and then like in winter you just cover yourself up a bit. And in summer it's all
I'm not
free.
into that. I think arm hair is cool. I'm not into the removal of arm hair. I have a lot of friends that do the whole shaving thing in cream, but I suppose I don't. I've got a lot, but they're
it's- you
blonde.
can't see.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
saying
different.
that's
If
like
you were
my
if you were like
friends.
your husband and you had arms like your husband, you want to
Well, you
shave
know,
them.
he did wax. He did attempt to wax.
Yeah.
If you guys saw him, you would understand. I'll never forget when he told me. I said, "Have you ever attempted to wax the hair or IPL?" Because when our kids get to 14, which my eldest is this year, I want IPL vouchers. Just letting everyone know that, because those kids are going to be like gorillas, and they run. I think on your side of the family, it's got to be, because my side of the family are not that hairy. I'm just saying, backing me up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I was going to say one of my best friends is Greek, and you would describe as a gorilla, but he
A
went
cute gorilla. I mean it in a cute
Oh,
way, not in a.
totally handsome.
But hairy.
he got IPL done, but they did it in a way that it was just like every third hair. So then he ended up with a nice normal hairy chest as opposed to an
Ah.
overly hairy chest.
No, I want nothing. But
Does
I'm
that make
used to it.
sense?
Yes, but Alan did attempt, but he doesn't want. He won't attempt it. But he did. I think he said. I can't remember. It must have been maybe 20s. I would say. I don't know if you were around then. He said he had 3. It would have been in Fremantle. He had 3 ladies. So it was like 3. So it just tells you, Jesus Christ, how much hair did he have? 3 people. I think it was like over an hour and a half.
Oh.
But I got him. How did you come? Because he did arms, back, and front, and he reckons he was red
Yes,
raw,
he
like
would be.
bleeding. Never again.
I'm having flashbacks to that movie 40-Year-Old Version when Steve Carell gets waxed. Have you done that? And Dennis, they
Can
got a
I-
smiley face.
I
on
will
it.
say this to you. I think I shaved at 11 because when I was dancing, obviously, I don't
Yeah.
know, because everyone was doing it, so you had to do what everyone was doing. I did shave for a while, and then I think because a lot of everyone was going and getting waxed, and I thought, why would I go to a salon when the home?
Yes.
Oh,
I can do it at
so
home.
Oh.
Can I just tell you this? I think I would have been, must have been late teens. I did it, obviously, at a very slow pace. And I
Oh,
remember doing it in a
pain.
massive patch.
Yeah.
But can I tell you, I was doing it down there, thought easy.
Give it a crack.
And I did it instead of in small sections. I did it, it was like one side in particular, that it actually cooled down and it wouldn't come off, that the strip got stuck. Wait, it was like over an hour. I was freaking out and I didn't actually think, I wasn't in a thinking mood. I was like in a panic station that it was like already red raw blood.
Oh.
I had to get a friend over who then kept thinking, instead of like heating it up and trying to do it,
Yeah.
would be smarter. No, we just kept tearing that to the point I got so much in pain that we had to go then book an appointment, which they were busy that day. I think it was like near and down in Cardi somewhere, that then I got fitted in. So it was like all day stuck like that, which we were in fits of laughter because it was hilarious. It was like friend's head right there trying to help me, that we went down, and even they struggled to get it off. And that just kind of scarred me from waxing for a while. And then I used to always get like, just come out with like just breakouts, constant breakouts and red. And then I discovered IPL, but it was already too late.
I think there's nothing worse than a teenage girl who's been to Priceline to get a bunch of beauty things and locks herself into the bathroom.
And then you know
for a
what it
couple
is?
hours
The
and
way
tries
they
everything.
describe it going so easy, you're like, yeah, wicked. No, you've got to be quick.
No,
You've got to be
it's hard.
quick.
Look,
And
we-
pressure.
But we didn't have YouTube. So we just had Dolly magazines. We had
Correct.
to read
Yes.
a
Dolly, yes.
2-second word about how to
Marie
do it.
Claire.
We didn't have YouTube that
Cosmo.
showed us like
Cosmo,
a
yes.
visual of what to do. So I think that helps now. People can watch on YouTube and see how to do things properly.
Well, and this is in COVID, I learned how to wax
Oh yeah, COVID.
myself everywhere. I learned.
You had to teach
Because
yourself. You couldn't
I
go
taught
out.
myself.
How
No,
quick were
'cause-
you?
Huh? I was
How
pretty
quick?
good. I was quick.
Hang on, did you have strips or did you do the
Strips.
the
No, I did it
is the
myself.
jelly
I
thing?
did- yeah, my
Okay.
my feet were on the mirror like that.
What a visual, Renee.
No, I look.
Can I ask you
do what have
this?
to do.
Were you doing stretches beforehand?
This is
I
why
don't need to
you gotta
stretch.
get IPL.
I'm pretty fit, but I did it myself, and I learned throughout COVID how to maintain that, and I'm actually quite and that's
Proud of
I'm
yourself.
proud of that because
That is good.
Then I know how to do that.
And you put pressure on when you pull?
But it's so painful doing it yourself. My God.
Because you know what it is? It's unexpected. When someone else does it, you're like, it's gonna like hurt for a split second. You're gonna be okay. But when you do it, you're like, you're going,
'cause
ready, no, ready, no.
the anticipation was, but that's just about what I do. But I haven't got into IPL, and I don't
See-
think, and I don't know if I can because I just don't have time. Because you got to go what
It's
for
so
10,
quick.
10 sessions? or
No,
so-
it depends on the hair.
This is how I rationalized it. So when I was 18, I started getting waxing in this area here. And then I was like, okay, this is how much pain I'm experiencing.
No,
and I've got to get it done X number of times, like every how many weeks, right? And then they were telling me about IPL. And I was like, oh, well, it's pretty much the same amount of pain. But you only have to get it done. Like, I think I had like 6 or 7 sessions or something. You don't have to do it all 10.
And then you go
It
once
doesn't-
a year.
And then, yeah.
And it is cheaper.
I did it when I was 18 and never had to go back. I'm 35. 36. Oh my God, I'm 38.
She can't remember her own
38,
age.
39, 38. I think I'm 38 this year. I stopped counting.
She's lying.
Stop counting. But yeah, so I just rationalized it. And if like you're still going through the same amount of pain, but it's just stops. So,
We swapped wax and razors and instead
and then it's done. You
wanted
don't
to
have
get
worry.
roasted like a raisin.
And I did my underarms in IPL, which I thoroughly recommend.
I've done my
because,
whole body.
Like, I would find that obviously from my heritage and like shaving, like the hair gets like really thick.
Yeah.
But if you IPL it, it's just gone, and
Mm.
it just feels like so much more comfortable. I'm free.
Clearly.
Free.
Literally.
Yes. Nothing from here down.
Have we convinced you yet? No.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you in a few episodes. I'll see how I go. I don't know if I will. I don't
This
know.
could be a series that we do. We could follow you to the petition and sit next to you while you get
Can
it
I
done.
just tell you the
I'm
time is
fine,
the same thing
thanks.
as a wax?
I
Yeah,
know.
it's the
I know what
same.
you're
It's
saying.
actually quicker.
I know what you're saying. I just don't know. I have to look into it because I've heard different things about IPL with certain
Skin types?
Your
Skin
skin
type-
type is fine.
ethnicities, the color of the hair. There's so many things. I have
Can
to
I just
think
tell you
about.
something what
Mm.
you got to be careful of? The older we get,
The harder it is.
no, and everyone's different. You don't have pigmentation, so some of us don't get it all, and you still have to shave or wax.
I see. So
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
No, I'll think about. But I actually enjoy going for my, my facial wax, all the waxes that I do. I actually don't mind doing them. What annoys me is when I don't get someone doing the waxing properly. I
Yeah.
suppose, and there's such a range of people that will do the job effectively, and then there's the ones that just don't listen at all.
That's why I'm not a beautician, because I would never do it properly.
And I had a good friend of mine who, I won't say their names, she used to work in a beautician. And I can tell you now, there's a reason why there are wet wipes next to the table before you go.
I know why you're going there.
Because beauticians like to talk about their work. And that work may include certain odors that they have experienced throughout the day, which may have come from their clients. So all beauticians like have a little gossip thing. So that makes me always get a bit cautious about going to the beautician, but that's just another. They actually gossip about what they do throughout the day, which is normal. I mean,
but at least you didn't understand what they say. You know those nail salons where they all speak different languages.
I know you walk in to get your nails done, and they're all speaking. Let's say I don't know.
I think
I
it's
just randomly say Thai. And I think, are they talking about me? And then
Well, they are when they're looking at you and they're all
well,
like
no,
giggling.
but it feels like they're talking. Don't you feel like they're talking about?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, and then if you request something, it's like a wave of chatter in the back.
Yeah,
going,
I know.
They must be saying how much of a cow I am, because that's how I feel when I go to
I
those
would love
places.
to know what they actually think and say.
Yeah, well,
Especially when you see some people's feet and you go, oh my God. Like, and I always go, I cleaned before. Please don't judge me or talk about me.
That's the other thing. You're scared that they're going to judge it, but then I just tell myself they've had so many worse people come in, especially when you see the men come in.
yeah,
And
the
you see
man,
someone there who's like got their arms up like this, and they're like in there for like a good couple of hours.
Legs spread like that. They're ready for business. Oh my God.
Oh.
That is too crazy.
Oh, I've got so many funny stories, but I can't say them because I feel like
Can I just tell you, I have waxed, not just myself, but, I have waxed a friend of mine who's a male.
Mm-hmm.
He was going on a date.
Mhm.
And I have done the whole, back, sack and crack. And can I tell you something? He left me with bruises and all because I didn't realize you really have to hold it down when you rip.
Yeah, you do.
No, and that was a first for me, and I found that as I was doing it.
yeah, no, it's got to
learn
be
as you
taught.
go.
Well, we didn't speak afterwards for a really long time, and he didn't go out on that date. Just a side note,
Oh.
because he was sore. It's
That's
interesting.
the thing. You never get a wax like the day of. It's got to be like 2 or 3
But
days
I find it with
before,
men
like,
and
your
women are so
date.
different.
Yeah.
Like I just thought, you rip. Clearly not. Do you get what I'm going with that?
Absolutely.
I'm just getting a visual now.
Oh, so shall we have a look at another set of gifts here on this side of the
Oh,
table,
yes. Can I
Alex?
start?
Yeah, of
Can I
course
have
you
one?
can.
'Cause
Yeah,
I've been waiting.
You want to eat one?
She's
don't
hungry.
You, you
I've
want to
been
eat one.
waiting so
She's
long
hungry.
for this. I was going to eat one in the break, and I was told not to because I have to wait. But these are my favourite cookies, and these are literally like the only thing. Yeah, I love them. Anyway.
Yes. So this is
Renee's
from
mum makes them.
my mum. She has a shortbread business called Sweet Twist Cookies,
Mm-hmm.
and very good at
Oh my God,
putting
so good.
They're
brand
good?
logos
Oh,
on
I
those
don't know one.
biscuits. Also, if you're interested to increase
So good.
promotion of
Mushy.
your business, you can put your QR code on there as well. Go to Insta and look up Sweet Twist Cookie and
I've
have the
tempted Lucy to break her diet.
Well, I
best
went down there.
indulgence with promotion you can have. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, Wiser
We're
with
so
Wine, the
lucky that
podcast.
it's
Yes,
providing us sustenance for our podcast.
yes, absolutely. To keep
Thank
us
you,
going,
Sweet Twist.
keep going, so to speak.
Mm. You got some historical facts for us, Renee.
Oh, yeah. Well, do we want to look at the world stat first or the historical stats? The world stats?
Do world stats.
Should we do world stats?
Mhm.
Interesting enough, I looked up, and it's pure curiosity to understand how different cultures around the world look after their pubic region and what is the expectation for that. And to be honest with you, this comes me back to a holiday that I had in my homeland about 15 years ago. And there was a woman she was very thin, great physique. And then she turned around and she had a bikini line down to her knees. And that's that horror picture of that. I thought to myself, obviously people deal with...
And the confidence.
Well, you call that confidence? I call that, disgusting. But she was standing there and I swear to God, it was all the way down. So some people obviously don't feel the need to maintain that area the same as everyone else. I don't know if it's cultural or if it's... it is cultural. And then also...
personal too.
Personal as well.
Don't you think it's more society, though?
I don't know.
I think it's all of it.
I think
That
I
could
don't
be
know.
all of it.
And then also, I've met a lot of people. I used to work on a cruise ship around the world. And I met a lot of people there and on the cruise ship for 10 years. And there were some men who actually preferred a woman to be hairy than being hairless.
No.
Yeah, there are. There are men who absolutely love a hairy woman.
They're like a treasure chest. It's like
I know, but this is
Be like a
but
pirate.
but there
Where
are
are the
those men.
goods?
I've met them.
I think they like it though because especially I find as well if the woman is very petite, that I think they prefer a little bit of hair on them to make them seem like more mature and older, so that they don't look like 13-year-old boys that are hairless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Oh my God, my mind's going so many
What's going
places right
on?
now.
That's what
I'm not
people
going-
say,
I'm not
'cause
going-
I'm
they-
trying to
they
hold
like
it
a bit
in.
of
It's
hair on
hard.
them,
I'm
but
not
they
gonna
don't
go-
look like children.
I'm not
'cause
going to
they're
go
so
Freudian with
petite.
you. I'm not going to go Freudian at all there. I'm not going there. However, in saying that, so
Oh.
I just looked up international
science.
takes on pubic area, and that's what I googled a couple of nights ago. And it's how interesting that this whole new Barbie phenomenon we're dealing with, because we all look that Barbie look, because we're going to have a whole generation of children coming through where their parents have got hairless pubic areas, and they're going to think that's normal.
Mm.
And
But I do like that smooth dolphin, like on a slip and slide.
I
Do you know what I
know,
mean?
but
That
I'm
feel.
I'm talking about the kids.
But I'm just saying
And looking
though.
at us, I'm not saying we've got that, but I'm saying looking at this generation of people coming through, they're going to have children and they don't have pubic hair, which is quite revolutionary in a way, because they're looking at their mums and dad, or even
But
and
also
their dads.
porn. On porn, they're pretty
Same
much
thing.
hairless.
And so the question was, where did the Brazilian get? And I thought, where did the
Mm.
Brazilian get crazy?
Mm.
It apparently stems back from the 1970s, the Playboy. So that's
Ah.
where they started, making that area very
Grooming.
well manicured.
Mm.
And then moving forward, we go to the 80s and the 90s, and Sex and the City had a series on Brazilian wax. I think Samantha, one of them, and basically that's when the Brazilian wax went through the roof. That's what, like the Cosmo on the Cosmopolitan Cocktail
Yeah.
on the show. It's the same thing. And then 75% of America had Brazilian waxes because it was on that show.
Mm.
It's amazing how one single show can
Cultural.
culturally change a whole pubic area of women. And then I went and looked at Britain, and it seems like I looked at the study. I can't remember the numbers, but I think it was about
It was less. Or Europe.
What's Europe?
So
What were the
Europe, of
numbers?
the
course, is
study
less
was
Europe.
30% of North American women were completely removed.
Right.
60% trimmed.
Trimmed.
Whereas Europe was 10% all removed, 15% trimmed, and 75% natural.
Yeah, natural. And then there's another one there. Australians, what did we do?
Same. 2008 university study. 60% removed some or all.
Oh, so that's recent,
Yeah.
2008. So that's
Oh well, recent
recent
to
enough.
us.
Oh, to
Some of our
us.
listeners weren't born.
Time relative. However, that was it. So I looked at that, and then I also in that looked at the history, and there was a French aristocrat, Catherine de Medici. So the Medici house is popular in Italy and popular in France back in the
course, France.
18th
And
century.
Spain, I think, as well.
Spain, they're a big family.
They were all into bread.
And so she insisted that her maids or, ladies in waiting would all have a sustainable, massive, ungroomed bush. And she would actually she'd lift the skirts and check
What a smell.
that everything was where it's meant to be. And then she'd get them to plait it and put ribbons. And so
Showing
interesting
off.
how that.
I'm so glad that's not a current
Oh my
trend.
God, can you imagine that?
Mm,
That'd get caught on so many things.
I know, but that's what she wanted. So she was she was
I
one
would
of
have
the
thought back then as well that they would have removed it from like a health and safety perspective. Like, you know how there's so much more like diseases and things back then.
Funny you say that, because apparently now
Mm.
there's so much,
So many hairless things.
Here we
that
go.
doesn't
what's it
exist.
called? Pubic
Crabs?
lice. It's gone. The STD has actually gone because of the fact that we've got no more hair.
Yeah, so that they can't jump.
Isn't
from...
that?
Are you
I've
serious?
heard that too.
yeah.
Or it's reduced a lot.
Well,
Surely, just
hardly
not
there because
prevalent.
there's no more hair for the lice to jump
Mm.
onto. That's good, isn't it? I think that's good.
doing our bit to save humanity.
Yeah, no more pubic lice STD. There you go. That's one to think about over dinner, and but that's my historical research for you.
That is very interesting, Renee.
I thought it was. I think it's. I
Wonder
think
what's next.
for what hair?
Mm.
Don't know.
It makes me think. Go back to your point about COVID though, about having to learn to do it yourself because
Oh.
everything was shut.
That was devastating.
I know, and it just made me think. I remember, not that I did anything with my hair, but I remember because I was in Sydney during COVID and everything was shut down for so long, and then I can't remember. I think it was after 6 months or a year or something. You were allowed to go back to a hairstylist, but only like one person in at a time or something, like that.
You guys had it worse than us,
And
though.
the apartment, I was in an apartment building, and there was a little shop underneath. So a lady opened up a little beautician, and you could write on the door like when you want to come in, because there was like no
Are
way
you
to.
for real?
Yeah, and then I went in and had my hair cut, and I remember it was like the nicest experience ever, just to have your hair cut after like 8 months or a year of like not being able to like talk to anyone. And you go down there and just having like a little haircut. It meant so much. And then I remember going to Woolies and buying some like brown hair dye and just being like, I'm just gonna dye my hair even darker. Because like,
Yeah.
what else can you do? You just have to do it all yourself.
No, I let it go.
I
Yeah.
self-dyed.
I could not even dye. I reckon the wolves got more dye than in my hair. And I don't know how that happens. I think there's a theme of today. I can't do anything on my own.
Are you talking you?
Yeah, me in general.
Okay.
More
Because
examples.
literally it was just, doing that and it was like literally like flick and I'm not gentle.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
just like get it over and done with. Swear to God the wolves had more. Actually the tiles had, it was the whole thing. It looked like a murder scene.
I bet
Do you know what I
Alan was
mean?
happy with that.
No, yeah.
But
He
before
kept saying, just shave it. Head's back
But
shave.
before I went blonde, I think I told you both that I was colouring every 2 weeks because I was getting this beautiful silver skunk line just down here.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, it was like Pepe Le Pew right there. So I was buying, not to save money, but to save time. Just do the roots,
Yeah.
right? But then the roots come back, so it was just a waste of time. I said, I've got to get rid of this because this is driving me. I'm not going to do my hair every 2 weeks. Just do the roots, and they're still coming back. It just didn't make sense. It's just different line. Different time. I went, okay, I'm just going to go. That's why I decided to go lighter because I was
So
sick
how
of trying.
often do you have to go now?
Oh,
with the-
every 5 weeks.
Okay, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah, every 5 weeks. But it's a different type of feeling because you don't feel
You're not
like
as conscious of it.
you're not covering up antique blonde. You now, you're a bleached platinum blonde, which is, I pull it off okay. My dad likes it. Got the first compliment in
Oh, wow.
30 years from my father about my hair. So, because I went red and I went to go see him. When I was red about 6 months ago, he goes, yeah, you did exactly the same when you were 17. And I still don't like it. Okay, so.
He thinks I suit blonde very well.
Yeah, well, that's
And
nice.
not in a nice way. I'm like the stuff I do, and I just look at him, and he's got that look like.
Sarcasm.
And then he did this, he did the whole, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so.
I had a really dumb moment, many moments. I think I have gone stupider. Can I say that?
Is it stupider? Is the word a stupider word?
I don't know. There you go. I can't speak.
Less mental capacity?
Yeah. I think it's done something to the peroxide
No,
with
it
my brain. I
hasn't.
feel it.
No.
I think it's like lack of sleep and just diet and exercise and
I think it's ADHD.
all the stuff.
I think the older I get, the more scattered I'm getting. I'm going to blame it on the peroxide.
Yeah.
Okay?
But it's also as well, this is interesting because you've stopped work recently.
And I have gone, I'm dumbified. Like,
But
honestly.
I felt the same. So, like, when I stopped working and I had my first kid and then I went back to work, I felt like I was at like 60% capacity. Like, people were talking to me and I was like responding normally as you would. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, I just have to process that and I have to come back and deal with this later. Whereas before, I used to be like, boom, got like just firing all
That is actually true
cylinders.
because I'm more in a, like, my brain's in a constant, like, la, la, la. No, like Homer's like, da, 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 da. Like, literally is like that. And then I go, what? Because Alan tells me all the time, he's like, are you there? And I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, what the hell did he just say? And
I think-
nothing interests me. I'm like, nah.
I think when you're busy and you have a routine, it's different.
Mm.
If you're busy,
Yeah,
your
busy
mind's
and-
busy and you
busy
keep
in a
going.
different way.
Yeah, but I'm busy in a different way now, and I make myself busy because that's what I'm never one to sit. And so I make myself jobs around the house and I make myself a to-do list in the morning. And that's just how I am. Like I make sure I get that to-do list done.
So you're already freaking me out. I'm getting anxiety already.
But that's
I
what
love
I
a
do.
to-do list,
I
though.
have to have
Yeah.
a to-do list for my to-do list.
Yes.
Because that's just how
I've never, ever been like that ever.
Yeah, well, you didn't live on a cruise ship for 10 years of your
No.
life. My life was a constant schedule. Everything was scheduled. And then I came to land and, worked in restaurants and bars and it was the same. Everything was scheduled. And people would look at me like I'm a total freak, but everything got done.
See, that's why you and your brother are so similar.
Yeah.
But yet so different.
Yeah, but, it's cruise ship.
It's the opposites attract.
See, if
Oh,
anyone watches
definitely.
Below Deck, it's really like that. But for me, it's about 500 times that. Like
I'm so jealous you had that experience.
a lot of
working on
people,
cruise ship.
a lot of people are, but it was hard work.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was,
I imagine.
it was,
So you worked hard and you played hard.
Yep. Did that as well. It was great because you're in a different country every day. Like when you're in Europe, different country every
Yeah.
day for 60 days. Just think about it. And
with
then you
people
go out
constantly changing. on
constantly
and off.
changing every 7, 6 or 10 days. And you'd go and party in Russia and you go and party in Copenhagen and then you go party in Italy you get lost in Italy. And so, it was lots of fun, but I'm glad I got off when I did because a lot of the followers or listeners who are my friends know I do talk about it quite fondly, and I learned a lot on those ships. But we had spas on the ship, and as an officer, in the end, I used to get 50% off all my hair treatment,
pretty
my
cool, though.
waxing, and everything else. And the privileges outweighed the hard work in the end because I had family and friends come on for free cruises and stuff, so it was
Yeah.
great. But the spa that they had on board, the British one, I've forgotten the name of it, but they were
So memorable.
British beauticians, so they were good party girls. And if one had drank too much the night before, you could see that when they were cutting your hair. Because, you're living and working together, and you see you 2 o'clock in the crew bar getting smashed. You go,
Does
well,
that not freak you out?
you're doing my hair tomorrow morning. You know that. Yeah, no worries. And then she cuts it totally wrong because she's smashed still.
Still hungover.
Still hungover.
Still fumes coming out.
Steiner. That's the name of the company.
Oh, okay.
Steiner were on board. So we did a lot of, and that's why I suppose, I don't know, did I miss IPL because I went from the cruise ship to the land? I don't know because there was no IPL on the ship back then. But I think, I don't know, too busy for IPL, but I'll think about it. I promise you. Yeah.
It just depends where you go to, because I know from Melbourne, like my cousins and that, they had because you can't do certain things. Like my auntie went back to, we're talking about 20, 25 years ago, and she has literally has no hair. This machine that this particular beautician has, and she's worked for so long now, she works from home, only does like her old clients. They basically got everything gone. Like it's like this super strength. And then I went to go and quiet here. No one's heard about it.
I'm sure the technology's changed.
No, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but this is from 25
That would have been when I
plus
went.
years ago.
Yeah, 20 years
And this
ago.
machine, basically, she's got nothing. Like, doesn't need to go for random, like, you've got to go do that maintenance.
Yes,
like,
I don't. Yeah.
she's never done it.
I just did like the 6 or 7 sessions, I think, even, and that was it.
See, I'm just
20 years
I
ago,
just
and
wanna
that's
burn.
probably the machine's going to give us all cancer.
But you know what? I know we should
it
think
to the
about that, but I
list.
would always go
Add it
burn
to
the
the
shit out of me.
list.
Just burn it. Oh, you're going to be all right? Burn me, baby. Because I don't want to come back here. It's like, this is off IPL, but I remember when LA Bache in Fremantle
Yes.
to tan. It was like,
Oh,
I went
fake
to, no,
tans.
I went to go get, I don't know if it was the suntan. Now I can't remember, but I went in for something and I said to them, just burn the shit out of me, like put it on the highest frequency. I came out, actually had 3rd-degree burns. And everyone was like, you got to sue. I'm like, but I told them to roast me. I was like,
But they
roast me
should-
like
they
a pig.
They should know, though. Like,
I know, it was straight away. Well, I had blisters straight away and walked out like this. I've had a journey. I've just always thought, just burn me, baby. Because I always think the hair won't come back.
that would have hurt.
There you go. That's my whole journey.
Okay, so is that a are we 50 minutes?
50
Okay, all right, we're
minutes,
at
wow.
50 minutes. There we go. So yep.
How do we just talk about hair for 50 minutes?
I don't know.
Because
I was so
because
worried.
it's everywhere.
But can
Yeah,
I
I
just
know,
wait? Can
and
I just see
everyone
this?
has
You know
it.
what's funny with hair though? We just had a conversation this morning because my son is starting to get, he's going through the hormones, he's getting the beard, and then he actually goes, "I'm going to go and shave," and me and Alan were like, "No, you're not." And then Alan gave this whole thing because if you look at my husband, he has literally like 2 or 3 hairs out of each paw, and he was saying exactly what you were saying, why your mum probably didn't want you to shave at such a young age, because he didn't really have, it's not like he went and going, hey, how can I shave? He just went to shave and would do it all different angles. Hence why when you actually look at him, it's like this,
Yeah, it's
like
all different.
crisscross. There's such a map on his face. And he was like so adamant. He goes, I'm going to shave. I want to get it like a real, because like, oh, we got a cute bum fluff going on, which I shouldn't have said that because it gone on to a whole thing. But it's so important how you do it. Because honestly, you look at Alan and you go, oh my God. Just think, ooh, gorilla. No, I know we joke around, but it is like, ooh, shedding.
Oh, I'm so lucky I don't have to deal with that.
Ugh.
I just think about, but I have to deal with chin hairs and stuff like that, which just does my head in. No, chin hairs. And you can speak to any woman over.
Well, this is my
40
thing.
Let me say it this way: non-IPL woman over the age of 45 who of a European descent will have a majority of a problem with chin hairs. And guess where
That
the
is
best
true.
chin hair mirror? Where's the best chin hair mirror? Do you think? You've probably seen it.
Oh, those.
No, in
No.
the car. because the sun in the car.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
I've actually
right.
seen women, God bless you all, in the car
Driving.
with your tweezers. And
I'm
you're
not there yet.
in the mirror and you're going like this because the best light
Yeah.
is in the car. And women in that age group will share that and we'll have conversations about that because it's just so annoying because of hormonal changes and stuff and chin hairs come up. But if you go to I went to my beautician in Frio, not my beautician anymore, but I said to her, look, what you need to do is you actually have to squeeze them and the hair will come out. And she goes,
What?
that's not
What
true.
are you talking about?
Yeah, this is true. So on my chin, I've got little blackheads, which are actually little hairs that I can just squeeze,
Ah.
and they come up so often.
Oh, wow.
And they're little, maybe because I don't do any skincare routine. I never have. My mother will vouch for that. I've never done moisturizer, toner, or anything. And so maybe they just grow back into my skin because it hasn't been exfoliated, but whatever. They're there. So I said to her, just squeeze them out. She goes, I thought you were telling me porcupines. I said, I'm not. That's what you need to do.
That is so random, though.
Yeah, so she squeezes out and the hair comes out and that's your chin hair situation sorted. But I do it myself now on a mobile phone light.
Add it to the list.
mirror. You just,
I'm not there yet at all.
yeah, well,
But I will say this, dermaplaning, I find, I know they say it's like the peach fuzz, but I do find, and I have spoken to a few people, that their hairs have come, there's more.
That's what I mean. I'm scared to do any of that.
I
'Cause
think
obviously,
now I've got
everyone
more
has
of it.
hair on their face, like because every part of our body except for I think our fingertips and our feet have hair. It's just
everything.
every single part of your
Ah.
body has a hair follicle except for your fingerprints and your soles of your feet.
Well, that's true.
There's a tiny amount
my
of
brother
hair.
might
There's
Yeah.
some
My-
like a gorilla, so they're like
There is some form of
spreading
hair.
everywhere.
So like obviously we all have hair on our face, and I'm just scared that if I get rid of any of it, that it'll just come
Well,
back
I can
10
tell you
times as
now,
thick,
they
10 times
lie.
as dark.
It comes back
Yeah,
thicker.
see?
No, not that I've got man hairs, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like you can see it.
I also know in my circle of friends, there are certain women that I look at and I swear to God, they have a mustache.
And they need to wax it off.
And then I look at them in the sunlight and there's a little beard going on. And I think to myself, why don't you just go have a wax?
Okay,
don't-
but do you
don't
say
ha-
that?
No, I don't. It's like
Why
saying-
not?
Because
If that was me and we were talking, I'd expect you to go, oi, bush pig.
you're
get
my-
it off.
You're my sister-in-law.
Well, no, you'd say it to your friends.
No, that would be a friend.
I do this.
That would be a friend anymore. But I don't know
You know,
how
she's
they
like a
don't
win.
see it. Anyway,
But
I
maybe
don't
they
know.
do. But maybe like I guess again it would come back
liberating.
to like how bad is it? Like is it
Not
like
bad.
something that you can just live with? Because if you get rid of it, it might come back 10 times worse.
Like,
or is it like something that's like
there are some
really
pe-
obvious and you're like,
No,
man,
this
like,
is
obvious? She's talking about
I'm
obvious.
talking. We've got rock pool lighting.
yeah.
And
you
it's
know, and I
swinging in
can
the
see it.
aircon. It's like this. Hey, woman, you
I
could
know,
fly away.
That's how obvious.
that's
it's
really obvious
Like,
then, yeah.
a different. 50
Like how
shade of grey on
zoomed
the
in you
face.
need to be to be able to see it. How far away would you need to stand?
Like, she probably could see it from here, actually
I was
closer.
going to say, how far?
Oh, God, now, do I?
No, everyone's getting conscious now.
It's secretly you, Lucy, that we're talking
No,
about.
do you know what? It's like nose hairs. That
Oh,
bugs
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Well, I wax mine out.
So do I. Oh, no, I IPL it.
No, I
I'm like, do the not. I go,
I
do
wax
the
everything.
hoovers. Do the hoovers.
And then we know what's worse when they come back with anyway, that's a whole different story. I think we should wrap it up for today.
Yes, I think that's enough
my
hair.
hairless friends, and we will be back next week for another beautiful podcast.
Yep. We've
on
got a great guest coming in next week.
Yes, we do. We won't announce names, but all I can say it's on a lot about wine,
Yes.
a lot about food. She's a very self-esteemed young woman who's a friend of mine for many years, and I'm looking forward to her sharing her knowledge with us and all our listeners. So we will